Get it going for you, Daddy.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Doctor Who Reviews. And welcome back to me as well, because yes, I've managed to get here for the first time in what, a month?
Nobody's actually counting, unlike me.
I guarantee someone will be counting out there. Mike. Look!
It's alright, Mike, you can stop counting now.
He is keeping track of the episode number better than we are.
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah, I've got to update the actual playlist.
Oh yes, the playlist.
Anyways,
But yes, I'm back.
Anyways.
A lot of things have happened in the past couple of weeks. Suffice to say, I've been helping my family through a time. I will be continuing to help them through a time. Thank you to everybody who sent well wishes through Twitter when I was going to the hospital every day. That really is appreciated. I'm sorry I'm not saying more at the moment. I'd rather keep myself to myself on that.
Well, we wish you all the best, Frank.
That's very kind of you. But I've missed this, and I'm glad to be back for this. And then Cat picked an episode that wasn't very good, but I still enjoyed it for different reasons.
It's Frez's fault. He mentioned it all to me, and I was like, yes.
I didn't.
So it's all his fault.
I didn't think it was very good, but I enjoyed it. If that makes any sense.
That does make sense. It's not really how I felt about it, but we'll get into that.
Exactly. But to talk Underworld with me, I'm joined by my two co-hosts. Firstly, to my virtual left, just like Icarus, he flew too close to the sun. Unlike Icarus, he kicked that sun's ass. It's pretty Inferno.
Fuck you!
Take that, natural light.
Can you please do that down here? I'm in Arizona and it's starting to get hot.
I think there's like, what is it? Supposed to be 25 degrees in March this week. Help. Again, remember, we work on degrees, not Fahrenheit, so...
Oh, you sweet summer child, she said, being 100 degrees Fahrenheit at some point.
I did say it's in March. It's going to get a lot hotter after March.
That's warm.
Climate change is real, yo.
Sure is.
And cancelled.
I just live in the desert.
And cancelled for different reasons. And to my virtual right... She is your brutality. She is living in your dreams. She'll put that soul to sleep. It's Cat.
Well, you know, people gotta learn to sleep no more.
Hey! That did come up on Twitter in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, it did.
And you'll be pleased to hear, Cat...
I still stand by it's a good episode.
Yeah, you'll be pleased to hear
Not
that was
great,
the
but
general consensus. The general consensus was, it's a good episode.
Yeah.
There was one or two
Vindication.
There was one or two people that said it was a terrible episode. Those people are not correct.
I like that you have an episode like that. That's just your pet defending episode. Just like, good. Oh.
Yes, it's not like I have an episode like that. Empress of Mars, cough.
I mean, shit. Here I am saying Hellbent good. Look at me.
That's not really the same level. I mean, Hellbent is objectively a brilliant episode.
Yeah, Hellbent is fantastic.
It's just not Heaven Sent.
Hellbent good. Hellbent good.
This is going to turn into the Harry Hill show, isn't it? Heaven Sent, Hellbent. Both great episodes. Which one is better? There's no one way to find out. Fight!
Well, I can tell you both of them beat fucking Underworld.
There you go.
Oh, please.
I take offense to that. This is a story by my favorite boy, Bob Baker.
Oh.
Signature I have on a K9 book.
I'm sorry about that, but even great writers can write duds from time to time.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, he did have help, so...
He wrote a lot of stuff to Bob Baker, so I think we can...
To be fair, he did have help.
Yeah, Dave Martin.
He had help.
So therefore, we blame Dave Martin.
We blame the guy that helped him, yeah.
Is this like that thing in the Chibnall era where Chibnall was co-writer on the episodes, and it was tempting to say, well, all the good parts are the co-writer, but all the shitty parts, well, that's Chibnall as usual.
Yes.
Yes.
But, you know, you got to kind of fight against, because, you know, co-writing really doesn't work like that. But it's just so tempting to say. and you got to fight against
mean,
that at every point.
Let's be perfectly fair. Every single time that Chibnall was the Soul Rider, it kind of sucked.
That is true.
For the most part.
With maybe one exception in Power of the Doctor.
I kind of like Spyfall 1. Spyfall 1 specifically.
Did he write Power of the Doctor? Now I don't remember anymore.
Yes, he wrote.
He did write Power of the Doctor. He also wrote Eve of the Daleks.
Well, it's fine compared to the other shit.
I liked Eve of the Daleks.
Yeah. Nick aside.
Yeah, creepy guy aside.
Yeah, that kind of tainted the whole episode for me.
But Underworld, written by these guys who also created like a robot dog that Cat likes or something like that. What's his face?
I'm sorry, that just
he's also in the story.
That just threw me for a second. Just when you said a robot dog that Cat likes, like what? That sentence just doesn't compute. Dog that Cat likes.
Meow.
Brain breaking over here.
We're going to talk about Underworld.
Yeah, okay. So, we start the first episode with Bob Ross.
As you do.
Was Bob Ross painting around his tail? I think he probably was. But it's Tom Baker as the Fourth Doctor. And this is the first time we've done a Fourth Doctor and Leela story since...
Is it really?
I think it is.
Oh, God.
We've not done much later.
Mike, if you could fact check in the comments, that'd be fantastic.
I could have sworn that we did the Sunmakers after.
Was she in that?
We did do Sunmakers.
All right, okay, yeah. Sunmakers was after.
I think I picked it.
Yeah.
I honestly forgot she was in that.
The one where violent anti-capitalist revolution throws a taxman off of a roof.
That is pretty great, to be
fair.
fair.
Yes, we did this one.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Chef's kiss. No notes.
The one where a guy that's a cross between Blofeld and Peter Lorre shrank into a chair.
Well, actually, one note. Do it again.
Do it to Kerblam this time.
Oh, no.
Do it to Bezos.
The sequel to Kablam is just a Kablam man being thrown off the roof. That's it. 10 seconds. Roll it.
I mean, yeah.
It wasn't the Kerblam man that was the problem.
Yeah.
People use and exploit the Kerblam man. This is a problem.
Well, the Kablam man actually was Cat's right. It wasn't the Kablam man that was the problem, it was the system. Kablam man, which you have one on your desk, by the way,
before you get me going,
was an avatar.
Avatar? The blue people avatar?
No, shut up. But anyway, they're in the TARDIS, the Doctor is painting, Leela is fiddling with the console. And then
the TARDIS just dies.
Pretty much.
Chibnall approved. I will never let it go.
He's been gone for 6 months, and we still.
I will never let it go.
No, she won't. Nor should she. Keep it up, Cat.
He's been gone for over 5
Approval.
months.
Well, yes, essentially.
Approval. That's all I need.
Anyway, the TARDIS basically just powers down, and then they end up inside a spaceship. The R1C.
Well, essentially, they fly a little too close to the nebula, they start to get sucked in, and then they realize, hey, we need to get out of here before bad stuff happens. So then they dematerialize and happen to end up in this ship.
Yeah.
The nebula will be important later.
And apparently the ship is supposed to be named after the Argo, which, no, it isn't. How is R1C remotely close to the Argo?
If you did R1G, maybe?
R1G I give you, but it's definitely Rick. It's R1C.
What they should have done was put RG0.
Oh my god.
So
According to TARDIS Wiki, so, pinch of salt, the name of the R1C appears to derive from Argo C. No! It doesn't sound anything like it! Whatever. Oh, Bob Bacon used it on the DVD commentary for Underworld. Okay, so it's supposed to be Argo C. It doesn't sound anything like it! words have got to mean something.
Well, it's okay because the word argosy actually means a flotilla of ships and is not connected with the Argo at all.
Right. So they failed
So
on
it's
two
just
fronts.
bullshit all around.
They failed on
So-
two
so
fronts then, is what you're saying.
And so that's why they named one ship after many ships.
Yeah.
And that's why Dave Martin is a hack. And only Dave Martin.
I hope to God he's not alive anymore. So you can see this.
Neither of them are, I think.
I know Bob Baker's dead. So yeah, we lost Bob Baker a few years back.
At least Cat has the late Bob Baker's signature on it.
Yeah, sadly,
Yes.
we lost Dave Martin back in 2007. So he's not here to have his work defamed by Cat.
Coincidentally, when Doctor Who was good.
Frez.
Hey, Cat won't let go of the TARDIS as a fucking sentient thing. I won't let go of this.
Right.
He doesn't have the right.
Anyway, they get on board this ship, whatever the hell it's called, and then we get the reason why Cat picked this particular cereal.
My boy! It's my boy!
Well, the other reason, K9's one of them. But also the way this is staged.
there's another reason?
This is clearly the "oh no, we've run out of the budget" episode.
They really ran out of the budget. And
Yeah.
I want to highlight this now. I'm going to bring it up again when we get to episode 2, when we get to the main thing, but I want to highlight this now. This story came out, I want to say, early January of 1978. Now,
Yes.
Poor effects in Doctor Who are nothing new. You know, we've laughed at bubble wrap and all that other bullshit, but Underworld not only looks bad to a modern lens, but it also would look like complete crap to a contemporary lens, because a little movie came out in the UK for all the Doctor Who fans to see. A little movie came out in the UK in the holiday season of 1977. Do you want to guess the title of that film?
The Star Wars Holiday Special.
No. But you are on the mark. It was Star Wars. Like a week before Star Wars comes out, and you know, we've said a lot about Star Wars in popular culture, but it has to be said, you know, the impact of those groundbreaking special effects you see, and then you come home the next week and turn on your TV and you see this shit.
Oh.
Like,
Oh no.
ugh. Like, just imagine, because you've seen, imagine in your head, you know, the Star Destroyer coming in the opening of the Star Wars, and now just contrast in your head with Brainiac. You had the little model spaceship on the screen, the Model R1C.
I guess I will, but yes, you're right.
Yeah,
I mean, to be completely fair, you're comparing a cinematic feature to a TV show.
Yeah, but even
just because they had the same budget doesn't mean anything.
But you know, I'm saying, but it might not be fair. But that's what the people of early 1978 were doing.
Yeah, but this goes
it's
beyond
fresh
that
in
whole.
The mind, and you're sitting down. It's not fair, but it's the comparison that happens.
The cheap sets and the comparison to Star Wars aside. The other thing that this does, and I do apologise because we're going back to a well I've mined many a time here. The other thing it reminds me of that this does is that there's an awful lot of times when actors who are playing crew members just stand around and look at the screen.
I mean, there's one point where Tom Baker himself looks at the screen. So.
Yeah, actors and crew members and other actors on the production just like turn their head and look at the screen. And there's something I just want to link here. And again, I apologise. Okay. But I think that people know what might be coming. Remind me of this.
Something wrestling themed? Something wrestling themed!
They cannot look at television like a human being. Just like wrestlers on television. Nobody in their right mind watched the television like that. If you did do that, you get a pain in the back of your neck real quick.
I mean, to be fair, most wrestlers are too busy being injured to be able to watch TV.
That's true. I was going to say appearing on it. I mean, the funny thing is, I just Googled, wrestlers looking at a TV. There was about 24 images.
Oh, God. God.
And it's just a variation on the same theme, so that's just the one I happened to pick. But who knows? By the time I edit this, that might have changed. But yeah, this is definitely like the budget ran out episode.
Yeah. And it never looks good when the budget runs out in the Doctor Who. Like we talk about lots of other shit looking Doctor Who episodes, but nothing so painful as the budget running out. Like the week after Star Wars comes out. Like I cannot express how unfortunate the timing is on that.
Fun fact: my parents got married the same year Star Wars came out.
Neat.
I can't remember if it's the same week.
It's also the same year that the French stopped using the guillotine.
Oh.
Well, I was
Fun
going to say less
fact.
neat, but actually no, that's quite neat because it meant more people kept their heads.
Well, I should say it's the last time that they used it. I want to say in general, but I can't remember if it was the last time they used it publicly or just at all.
When did Star
Because
Wars?
they were still doing some secret beheadings.
Hey, Rain.
Yeah.
Cut this part out, but with the way Emmanuel Macron is going with France, they might break that fucking thing out again.
Oh my god. He's not wrong. I mean, he shouldn't say it, but also he should because.
Rainiac, leave that in.
I'm sorry, but Macron is very clearly in the fuck around stage of fuck around and find out.
I
It's
mean,
just
he's.
France. Who
I
cares?
don't think it's going to be a guillotine. I think he will have to step down.
Yeah, that's probably more realistic.
I mean,
but
he
just
just narrowly avoided getting voted out of office, losing a vote of no
Did you
confidence.
see the fucking thing with the watch?
I did not. What was the thing with the watch?
Oh, he had like this fancy ass Rolex on when he was being interviewed, and as he's being interviewed about some bullshit, he sneakily puts his arms under the table and then pulls them up, and he doesn't have the watch on anymore.
Oh, that, yes.
The watch.
Oh,
Why did he take his watch off?
because he didn't want to be shown as having extravagance, I guess.
Oh my gosh! Then
ooh,
don't wear
what?
the watch in general.
Oh, I'm not rich. What are you talking about?
Just going to do a little bit of magic trick here, under the table, eat your heart out, Penn and Teller, and there you go, man the people again.
And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, my credibility has disappeared.
Like he had credibility to start with. Come on.
To be fair, he's French.
So, what's going on in Underworld right here?
I don't know, keeping all that in, by the way. So we're back in Underworld.
All right, you're keeping it in. That's right.
So
But here I am trying to be like, okay, I know when I get all anti-capitalist, you get a little sensitive. So I'm like, cut it out, but I want to make a little bar. No, we're keeping
You
it.
are cutting out.
Well, on this occasion, though, I think that it's important to talk about, and also the people doing the protesting are 100% in the right, because that's a shitty thing for him to have done. He didn't just put it through Parliament, say, have a vote on the pension age. He said, no, the pension age has gone up now. And then what's the point of having a system of government if you're just not going to follow it?
It's alright, Frez. The most you'll do is piss off Quebec.
Oh God, I've been to Quebec. You don't want
It's
to
just
piss off Quebec.
Something Kevin Owens,
Yeah,
right?
I'm American.
Underworld.
I pissed off Quebec by existing.
Underworld.
Quebec gave us poutine, and I will defend them for that.
Quebec gave us Poutine and Kevin Owens. I think they get a pass.
Underworld.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back to Underworld, but Cat keeps derailing the train again.
It's my job. That's what I'm here for.
True. We have numerous members of crew
That's apparently
here.
what America is known for. Trains derailing.
The most important one, I'm going to continue through that. The most important one is Captain Jackson. Incredibly, despite being called Captain Jackson, he doesn't die.
That Jackson was a Jackson.
In my experience, every time there's a character called Jackson,
Jackson?
there's a character called Jackson in a book or like a TV show, they end up dying like a red shit.
Mm-hmm.
We even had a joke once when I was doing like NaNoWriMo. I was going to include like some minor characters called the Jacksons that always die.
Oh my God.
I didn't in the end, but That was a running joke we had. This guy, magnificent, magnificent hair, magnificent moustache, doesn't do a right lot of anything else.
Oh, the 70s hair is on point.
This is the captain of the ship.
He had a mustache?
I don't think he had a mustache.
The picture I'm looking at, he has a... Oh, no, all right. Magnificent hair.
There you go.
That was almost
Okay, I was going to say, because I did not remember a mustache. And I was like, shit, did I forget which character
No,
we're talking about?
the image I'm seeing, he hasn't got a moustache, you're right. The image I'm seeing makes it look like he has a moustache, but it's just lighting. So,
I see.
Apologies.
Yeah, it's just lighting and I think a 5 o'clock shadow.
We managed to avoid a Mandela effect there, we're okay.
Berenstain.
I said avoid it, not...
Berenstain.
Dimension Hopper. Dimension Hopper.
Shazam starring Sinbad. So... I might have got that wrong. Anyway. This is what I want to thank Kat for then. Do you know how a few episodes, but well, not a few, like a couple of years back, we had a K9 podcast, and a fish person turned up, and Fred was very happy.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Kat, thank you for giving me a stealth Greek mythology episode.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
See, I knew you were gonna go ham about this.
Oh yeah.
This is your moment, Rain.
Every member of the crew that's named is based off of a character from Greek mythology. Mm-hmm. So Captain Jackson's Jason.
See, I was just thinking that you were happy that Blackpool got mentioned for once.
That too. And it's not followed by the phrase, "It's the worst place to live in." Because God, we get a bad reputation these days. And then you've got people like Orph, who's obviously Orpheus. The one female member of the crew that's of any note, is it Tala?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's Atalanta. There's Herrick, who's obviously Heracles. They don't do a huge amount of... they're not exactly very imaginative with these names.
See, this is a thing between our interpretations and what we got out of the story, because I admit a certain lack of erudition. I am not as familiar with the myth of Jason and the Argonauts as you are. So, whereas you see all these things as these callbacks, it just completely bounced off me, and I didn't get that.
That's fair.
And when you don't get that out of the story, as it turns out, there's like fucking nothing to latch on to.
Apart from Atalanta, everyone I've mentioned was on the Argo in the myth.
And it's like, it simultaneously doesn't make it obvious and does make it obvious.
Yeah.
Because for the entire runtime of the story, it's understated. And so you've got me watching going, what is this shit? What? I don't know Jason and the Argonauts. I don't know it. I don't know if British children in 1978 were like intimately familiar with it. They're going, oh.
And they even go further with the comparisons, because I'm pretty sure that the named characters don't die in the story either, in the myth.
Yeah.
Jason survives till the end.
But also spoiling to the end, for all that this is an understated thing where you're like supposed to, get it if you already know the story, and they don't really bring it up. At the end of the whole thing, the doctor just comes up and says, "Oh, yeah, it's just like Jason and the Argonauts."
Yeah, as if just spelling it out for the audience. I hate that.
I would appreciate.
Well, they gotta make the dumb kiddies get it somehow.
Yeah, but like my main problem with it is that, okay, it's an allegory for Jason and the Argonauts. Neat. What's it doing with that?
Not a huge amount.
What's it doing with that?
Also, the planet they're trying to rebuild is Minos. I get it. I get what you're saying. It's both being subtle with its references and wearing its heart on its sleeve.
Yeah.
Which is a very difficult balancing act, which it doesn't quite pull off.
No.
Still, Greek mythology episode, thank you, Kat.
Well, I'm glad you
You're
got.
welcome.
I'm glad you got something out of it because I didn't.
Unless the Mythmakers ever gets made into an animated story, and it should. That'll be the last time I get to do a Greek mythology episode for a long time. So yeah, I'm taking the chance now while I still can.
Mm.
But yeah, they're here to rebuild the planet Minos, and the Doctor's going to help them with this. Unfortunately, this leads to cliffhanger 1, and again, the cliffhangers aren't very good in this. I don't think.
We should also mention there was one member of the crew, Orf, I believe it was, who very much does not like the Doctor. Essentially, the minions used to think of the Time Lords as gods, and this was the origin of the whole Time Lords do not interfere thing. Because they gave them technology, they gave them all this stuff, and then the minions promptly turned on them, started trying to kill each other, and pretty much blew up the entire planet.
Also, these people can allegedly regenerate. Or Tala claims that they can regenerate to finish the work. So they've lived a long time.
100,000 years, in fact.
And if this was a modern day story, they would put a hell of a lot more emphasis on the fact that they can regenerate and they're not Time Lords. It's just sort of, it's mentioned. Oh, great! Moving on.
What? Regenerating and not a Time Lord? Did they come through a rift and get abducted by the Time?
Stop. Stop right there.
Yeah, it's strange. Just like it should be this hefty bit of lore, but it is very understated. Just like, oh, they think the Time Lords are gods. That's why we didn't interfere. Anyway, where are you going?
The cliffhanger then is just that the ship.
Yeah, we should mention that this is the point where the Doctor's like, I don't give a shit. What's up, dudes?
How do you do, fellow aliens?
Cliffhanger rocks around the spaceship.
The ship gets trapped by rocks, and Doctor's like, "Well, you've got weapons. Blast yourself through,
Did we explain? Like, I think we're missing some stuff. Did we explain why the ship is out here in the first place?
Well, I tried to.
Looking for their lost ship. They're looking for the lost ship P7E.
Oh, Persephone, Jesus.
Yes, because yeah. So essentially, P7E is like an arc ship. It has these 2 cylinders that have like the genetic makeup of their race on it, and they need to use that to be able to make more of them. And so for this 100,000 years, they have been following this signal, trying to get a hold of it, and regenerating over and over again. And then they finally detect it inside the nebula that they just escaped from.
Yeah.
Oops.
Well, shit. Time to go back into certain death.
And get surrounded by rocks, and as the cliffhanger, and then the resolution to the cliffhanger being, oh, we are blasted through and are no longer surrounded by rocks.
Well, they do manage to free themselves, but they also start to burn through the hull of their own ship. So, whoops. As I said, the cliffhanger.
We should also mention this entire time, they are incredibly devoted to what they call their quest. So they keep saying stuff like, this is the way. I mean, this is the quest.
The quest is the quest.
I caught that, Cat. Thank you.
The quest is the quest. This is the way.
I appreciate the Mandalorian reference there.
Oh, what? We're comparing it to Star Wars again? Oh, shit!
The entire time I was watching, I was like, this is the way.
Speaking of Star Wars shows that aren't as good as The Mandalorian, an episode of Andor was filmed near where I live. This is not a bit.
Neat.
Nice. The Cleveland's Promenade, yeah, they used that for a 5-minute scene in episode 7 of Andor. And the cafe that they used to basically double as a market, I've been in that cafe. It's really wild when you see a TV show that it's been filmed near to where you live. You I recognise that landmark, that bit's been CGI'd into something else. That guy just died next to those steps.
But there is a show. There's a show called, I think, 1985. It has Harrison Ford in it. My dad's classic cars are in that episode.
Oh, neat.
The very first episode.
Neat.
He's also met Jason Momoa.
Yeah,
really
you
neat.
mentioned that before.
I know.
Maybe
I
not on
just
here,
wanted
but
to mention it again. Everybody in my family is famous, but for me. What the hell?
yet.
Yeah.
Everybody in my family is famous, but for me.
At the moment, but that could change.
Yeah, and I'm kind of worried about that because more than likely I'd be infamous.
That's just
Probably
pessimism.
for murdering somebody.
Alan Baker said my name.
Did it?
Yeah, because I paid him to.
You did.
$75 well spent. Or whatever it was.
How much was that business meeting one again? 500?
Too expensive.
Oh, honey, nothing is too expensive.
No. I'm not saying it's too expensive. I'm saying it's too expensive, but not in the way you think.
Oh, Mr. Baker here at Doctor Who Reviews LLC. We are here to discuss
Like
the
we're not doing
merits
it
of your
levels of
scenes with
expensive.
Paul Darrow in Time Lash, circa 1985.
Anyway, they
So, Mr. Baker, what do you think of mirrors?
in part 2 they get to this planet and the Doctor suggests, oh, this planet, this might be your missing ship that you're looking for.
It might be at the
The
center of the
P7E, Persephone. Again, thanks, I hate it. See, that one scans, but R1C does not.
There you go, yeah. The consistency. You know what else doesn't have consistency? The surface of this planet, because they're about to crash land on it, and then they just sort of bloop.
And yeah, they do. They sort of just bloop through it.
And
Yeah,
here's
this
what
is
we
kind
get.
of weird.
Like the core of the planet is solid, but the outside of the planet is liquid. I don't even know. I don't know
It
if
makes
science
no
works.
sense.
Well, I don't know if science works like that, but
Was this an attempt to make Outer Space Atlantis? Because it failed, if it was.
I have no idea. But what I do know is that the story's most infamous budget-saving cost rears its ugly head right around here. The reason Cat picked it.
Yeah.
So they only had enough money. They tried to build 2 sets, but they only had enough money to build one, the spaceship set. And so they were like, what are we going to do about all these caves? I have an idea. What if we build the caves as models and then photograph the models and put them as blue screen and just have everybody walk around the blue screen for the rest of the story?
Yeah.
And that's what they did.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, it looks like shit.
It's terrible. Did this ever
And
get
this
a,
is what I
a
mean.
really
remaster
funny.
where they made it look less terrible?
I don't know. This one hasn't gone on Blu-ray yet.
I can safely say I watched it on Amazon. It was not good.
I can't wait to see Underworld Deluxe Edition where they just replace the CGI with more, slightly better CGI.
Oh boy, like the fucking Kinda snake.
I said slightly better, not 10 times as worse.
But yeah, like I said, this came out like a week or 2 after Star Wars debuted, and you've got to look at these fucking guys in like rags running around the blue screen, going, "Oh, Rock's dying."
Yeah.
No, the foam has fallen from the sky.
We then get a bit of...
Can I also say, before we move on, there's one point where the Doctor hooks up K9 to the ship, both to help with power and also to help guide it around. And he does this by taking wires that are attached to binder clips and putting them on K9's ears, and I really giggled at that.
It's just an analog phone cord.
Is that what it is?
With binder clips. They are literally binder clips, and it's hilarious.
And the cord is just like, you know an analog phone where you got the long windy cord. It's literally just that.
So, for those of you who may not know, an analog phone was a phone that was actually attached by cords to the wall. And they used those cords to be able to transmit everything rather than through the air like magic.
What a time we live in, huh?
Yeah.
And nowadays we can not only talk through the air like magic, but when we blue screen somebody and composite the image, it doesn't look like complete shit.
It's a miracle.
And also, there are some people who decide to, I don't know, go down to their basement, hook up their PlayStation to their VHS recorder, and then record entire seasons of something like, I don't know, Symphogear onto VHS.
Yeah.
Weird how that happens. I
I
wonder who could have done that.
Who would do such an unnecessary?
I don't know, but I have to
like
watch all the episodes again that I've yet to see now, and I'm suffering because of that. Thanks, Kat.
Well, if you need it in VHS form,
I don't.
at least one of us has that.
I have access to a legal copy of Symphogear. I'm just trying to hold off as much as possible from actually using it, but
I would like to note that I have completely legal copies of Symphogear purchased from rightstuff.com and Distotech Media, and that any copies recorded to analog tape are what's the word I'm looking for?
For personal use only.
I never said I
For
bought.
personal, they are for personal use only, and personal archive copies, not for resale.
I never said I bought a legal copy of Symphogear. I said I have a legal copy of Symphogear, access to it.
Yeah, well, I did, but
Did Ferris
I'm
give it to
I'm
you?
not getting the FBI on my case.
No,
saying
a friend just
that
let me
I
borrow it.
That I illegally duplicated a Japanese anime show.
Wait. I think we're all missing the biggest thing here. The fact that Brad here has a friend in real life who watches Symphogear and has physical copies.
Well, she hasn't actually seen it yet. That's why. I think she's using me as the guinea pig.
Wow.
Am I going to like this show?
One of us.
Maybe.
One of us.
Wait. This isn't a bit. You really have a friend who lent you the Blu-rays.
I really have a friend who lent me the DVD of Symphogear.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
here's what you need to do, Rainiac. Get some popcorn, steal the cat, steal the girl, and then have a movie night where you guys watch Symphogear together in despair.
Okay. Wait.
She is engaged, so no.
Has she seen any of Symphogear yet?
She's seen the first 2 seasons.
Share my blog.
She decided to let me tackle the next 2 seasons to see if they were any good. I haven't got back to her yet.
Honestly, that was a good choice.
I haven't got back to her yet.
That was a good choice. She is smart.
As soon as I
Tell her fiance to marry her faster.
As soon as I can finish them,
Oh my god.
they're getting posted through the letterbox ASAP
Take it back.
with a note saying, "Do not watch this.
Oh
But watch it.
Burn it."
god. How much of this is going in?
Oh, all of it.
All of it.
I can't, say, "Oh, we're going to clean all the French around," and then say, "Oh, but the Symphogear thing, that's being cut out because it made me look bad." No. It's all going in. Who needs blooper reels?
Anyway, Kat, I hope you realize that next time, with a blank VHS tape that I found, I could, for personal archive only, create a personal copy of Madoka Magica Rebellion.
I'm okay with this.
Not for all the tea in China.
Wait, what happened to Mommy? Why are they crying?
I would like to use the excuse it was a very long day, but it wasn't. I'm just an idiot.
So, back to Underworld.
Still have that chat.
I know you do.
For those who are confused, there is a big thing that happens to Mommy, and somehow Rainiac completely missed it.
Yeah. I'm not embarrassed
And
about it anymore.
I still have the chat from that, and it's hilarious.
I'm not embarrassed about it anymore. I've just owned it at this point because it was hilarious. It's a memory we can all look back and laugh on.
So what you're saying is that you're not shrinking and turning into a corn cob.
No, I've got far more bigger things to worry about than that.
So,
like trying to get 2
Speaking of corn
Symphogear,
cobs,
like trying to get 2 Symphogear Blu-rays back to my friend before she notices.
speaking of corn cobs, let's get back to this corny cereal.
Nice.
yes.
Okay, here's where the next thing that
I mean,
turns,
I guess I could give this to myself.
I would. You earned it.
Hey.
So we get a bit of lore dump about how there's the trogs and the guards. The trogs are like the lower orders, the
Class warfare,
peasants.
blah, blah,
The
blah.
guards.
Like you, I'm sorry. You think that I would gravitate onto this? Oh, it's the lower class being ruled by the upper class and all this shit. But it's like there's no fucking reason. There feels like no fucking reason for these people to be oppressing these other people, other than that the diegetic reason of the non-diegetic reason, I suppose. That other than well, we need to have some bad guys in the Doctor Who doing the bad thing.
Yeah. Oh, the reason why one
Yeah,
in
this is the
particular.
part that really annoys me.
Like
It
I'm
just
sorry.
really annoys
Like
me
if
because,
I'm
like, we hear about
sorry.
this. No, it's fine. I'm used to it by now. It's not like I exist or anything.
I apologize.
Go ahead,
I
Kat.
know. But later on we hear about this oracle that they keep talking about, and at one point the Dr. Evie gets to meet the oracle. They never explain the oracle. They never explain where it came from, what it is. It sounds like a woman, but we never actually see a woman. It's implied that maybe the oracle is just some sort of computer program, but even then it's not really fleshed out. So there's really no backstory to these villains whatsoever, other than one day they decided to just go bad.
But yeah, well, I took it as the Oracle being a computer that had gone bad and was like just just like doing completely illogical shit for the sake of it.
I
But
mean,
that
the
still
Oracle is
doesn't explain why
basically
everyone has gone along with. I don't.
if the R1C is ripping off Star Wars, the Oracle is ripping off 2001.
I guess.
Excuse you, the oracle is quite obviously ripping off Wally.
But they're not oppressing these people for power. They're not oppressing these people for material wealth. They're not oppressing these people for like any other reason other than
They can.
we oppress these people because we wanna.
They're oppressing because they can oppress.
Which I guess you can. I guess there is a point to that. How the cruelty is the point of such oppressive system, but this is not the story to be making it. This is just we need a bad guy. They oppress these people. Why? Because we need a bad guy who oppresses the people.
And the form
It's
of
like the reason that they give later on is that they take the rock, they mine the rock, they crush it up, they turn the rock into food. So theoretically, they need a working class to go around and mine all of the rock that they need for food. Okay, fine. But they also have like this sacrificial ceremony where they keep all of the well, they call them slaves, in line by every so often sacrificing one of them to a fucking sword. And like this weird Rube Goldberg device. And then the other thing that they mentioned is it was never proven, but it was suspected that the reason all these sky falls, as they call them, which was cave-ins, happened, was because they were trying to cut down on the numbers.
Yeah.
And like, okay, explain more.
Like, I don't usually like to get into this mindset, and call me on it if you can, if you wanna, Underworld defenders, for like not for being deliberately like bad at reading this shit, but I just don't see any like fucking thematic reason or thing for me to grab onto and really resonate within the story. It's just they're bad people because this is a Doctor Who story and some bad people are required to be stopped. Which is
Yeah, and it's like we
fine.
see
It's
at
fine for
one
a plot
point that,
function.
yeah, yeah, we see at one point that I forget what they're called because honestly, who gives a shit? But the people who are close to the Oracle and work directly with the
The
Oracle,
Seers.
when they take off their hoods, they have some sort of weird helmet things on, and it's not entirely clear as to if that's some sort of genetic mutation that they went through, or if they are legitimately wearing some sort of weird helmet.
I mean, I took it when I saw that we're skipping ahead, but whatever. I took it as they were also robots.
Don't think that's ever confirmed that they're robots.
That's how I.
It's
took
it's
it.
a
I don't
headcanon
know.
that works for me, but I don't think it's ever confirmed.
Which That's just it. It's just going through these motions. It's just
And you mentioned
the
that
same
people
thing.
are oppressed, and the way in which they're oppressed is through through policing their ideology, their beliefs. Because there's an old man who's about to be sacrificed because he believes in the sky. What?
Hmm.
He's prosecuted for heresy because he says there's a sky, and even though obviously there's a sky, he's like, no, that's heresy. You will be sacrificed at dawn. Like, what?
Kill him because we're
Idmon.
bad.
His name is Idmon. His son runs away from this, ends up inside the ship with the crew. He gets inside the airlock, I think.
Yeah, basically by this point they've all landed. The crew have headed out in order to try to find the remains of the ship so they can get the 2 cylinders that they need. They tell the Doctor and Leela to stay there. So the Doctor and Leela run out and they manage to find this kid being chased by the guards. And they help him. And then he's like hurt and they're inside the airlock and shit is happening. And then they decide to fumigate the area. It's a mess.
Yeah, the cliffhanger for
mess.
part 2 is the Doctor passes gas. Sorry, the Doctor passes out due to gas.
Well, we gotta talk about the line though.
There's quite a bit to talk about this cliffhanger actually in backstage stuff because it's wild. But give the line,
There's a
Bart.
line. Okay, the line, yeah, because the resolution is that he reverses the thing so that the gas goes back in. But what he says is, "What can blow can also suck."
It's Mega Maid, sir. She's gone from suck to blow.
No, cat.
Exactly where my headspace went.
Cat! Don't remind me of the Mega Man, alright?
Suck.
Don't remind me of the Mega Man, he just goes all in on it instead. Here's the behind the scenes bit. So, the script called for Leela to scream as she's being overcome by the gas with the Doctor and Herrick at the end of part 2.
Right.
And Louise Jameson refused,
Right.
saying it didn't fit Leela's character.
Which it doesn't.
No, she was right.
No.
It's just wild though that the companion.
It's like even in these few moments of knowing Leela, I know more about her character than apparently the writers do.
I will say this:
Or
that
director,
Leela was a very
whoever it
good
was.
fit. On paper, Leela was a very good fit for this particular story that's based on Greek mythology because she's obviously a take on the Amazons, the Sephartine. I know we haven't done Leela's original story yet. We probably will do one day. I know the secret behind that, but
Yeah.
clearly her design is based on that of your classical Amazon warrior women.
Yeah.
And that was based in Greek mythology. But she doesn't actually do a whole lot. This is quite a disappointing outing for Leela, really. She gets to
She
shoot
said that-
a couple of guns.
Like in other stories, she'll try to knife a guy or some shit, or successfully knife a guy.
I mean, I hate to say it now. I hate to say this, but she does more in the one we can't mention.
You're right, and I hate it.
I didn't write that, so not my fault. But she does more in the one we can't mention. But so we've met the guards, who these masked guys, like hoods with like little silver studs. For a low budget costume, it's not terrible, honestly. They look kind of intimidating.
It does look a little like a gimp outfit though.
I wasn't going to say that, but yeah, all right. It looks a little bit like a gimp outfit, but they're fine.
A really shit one, to be fair. But
The same cannot be said. The same could not be said, and I know we're skipping ahead a little bit, but I have to mention this. Of the design for the Seers.
Oh boy.
What is this?
Oh.
What is this of the legal distinct Big Daddy? I know Bioshock came 30 or 40 years later. I know that's the joke.
That's the joke.
But this, even for Doctor Who, this design is just...
Yeah. And they're not much better later on when they take off the hoods.
I mean, the hoods are okay, but it's the giant welding masks. That's what I think it is.
Maybe they were actual welding masks. I mean, no budget.
Possibly. I mean, I can't tell where the face ends and the nose begins. It's just funny. It shouldn't be funny, but it's just funny.
Again. This is a Doctor Who story about running up and down lots of corridors. They can't even afford to build the corridors.
Actually, I said, like Legally St. Peter, they do kind of look like that, but also Dr. Bunsen Honeydew. And now you can't unsee it. Where's Beaker to explode when you need him? Again, Kat, I did not come up with the stupid costume that made me look like Dr. Bunsen Honeydew Robot Edition. I didn't.
Nope, you still mentioned it.
Because it's... Whatever, move on.
And I'm going to blame you for that.
Cat, give him a Mariah as compensation.
What? No, that's not compensation.
No, he doesn't deserve Mariah.
Oh, wow.
It's too good for him.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
That's damning me. Okay, so
I hope you feel bad now.
The part for cliffhanger resolution is pretty neat. They basically get the guards to get. Well played. Well played. You suckered me in there.
I had to make sure you were nowhere near the mute button.
They used yeah, you did that well. They used the Mega Blade button, thanks Cat, to basically gas the guards instead of them, which is wild.
And I really hate this part too, because like the Doctor stands there at this device that he just used, and he looks up directly at the camera and says, "I wonder where it all went."
Haha,
Hey,
kids.
cheeky dude.
Haha, kids, look what I did. I'm Doctor Who.
For the love of God,
The man who never would.
Stop with the innuendos. We then find out what Idris's father is going to be punished by. The sword of Damocles, like literally.
Oh my God.
Their form of sacrifice is to drop a sword on someone. I presume.
Like, I gotta ask, is that part of Greek mythology with the whole burning of the rope and the sword falling, or
I
is that
think it's
just something
supposed to be
stupid that they came
a
up
very vague allusion to the sword of Damocles, but that was hanging over someone's head, not like about to stab them. I think they've misinterpreted the myth, quite frankly. But
So this is something stupid that they came up with.
Kind of. I mean, when you've got something hanging over you like an ordeal, it is referred to as a sword of Damocles in modern day vernacular. So I guess that's what they're going with, but I don't think in that it was supposed to be hanging over to stab someone lying down on a rock. So no. I think they got it wrong. And I really should like the story, shouldn't I? Because we've got Greek mythology, and now we've got dragons, except we haven't got dragons. Thanks for teasing me there, writers. We've got the idea of dragons. It's just a gun. It's just an automatic defense system.
It's actually a force field.
Sorry, yeah, it's just an automatic defense system. So Leland shoots it with a gun. That's right.
Yeah.
But it's not an actual dragon.
You know what I also just realized that's probably going to really annoy you?
What?
The weapons that they use, they're these sort of shields things that have a special power.
Yeah.
Do you know what that special power is?
Oh.
Oh, thank God. One good bit.
Go on. Spell it out for the audience.
They reflect laser fire.
They reflect, you say,
Doctor Who mirror alert. Whoop, 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 whoop. I like that you went with that one and not the Super Metroid one.
Yeah, I like that too.
The classic.
The classic.
The classic. The OG.
Yes. You know what other Greek mythology also used a mirrored shield to defeat a monster?
Medusa.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yes, his favourite mythological monster, Medusa.
Wait, this isn't the Mind Robber? What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Can we talk about the vertical shaft?
just completely just putting it out there.
I am having such a good
I'm just
time.
condensed on bacon for
Mostly
innuendo.
because
No, I have to do
Brainiac's
the same
having
for
a shit
you.
one.
No, I'm enjoying it. Deep down, internally, very internally. So internal I can't manifest it into happiness.
So yeah, they get through this like dragon thing, which is just lightning or some shit.
It's just a force field, yeah.
And they blow up, and they blow a hole in the wall, and it's a big pit. And the doctor's like, "Oh, it's zero gravity.
Oh my gosh, this part.
We can just go down it if we just push. Everybody walk off on the edge and hold hands, and we're just going to push."
Leland, hop down that hole for me for a second. 20 feet.
And they just, they're just blue screened, and it's just, okay, we've got them blue screen. Now just move them down. And they go down this vertical shaft.
Yeah. So they're
You
here to
say
stop.
that again, didn't you?
They're here to stop the sacrifice.
And they go down, and of course immediately the cameras see them going down, and they get captured.
Yeah.
And brought to the sacrifice chamber. And just as the sword of Damocles is about to drop over the head, because I think somebody's been cutting the thread, chaos ensues.
They lit a fire. They ironically called this the fire of life. They light it, and then it starts to burn the rope.
You have to burn the rope. That's a very old reference. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
There's a video game that I like. One of the first games I did on my channel.
Nope, I'm not worrying about it.
Okay.
You told me not to worry about it, so I'm not worrying
Okay,
about
well, worry about it. It's just it's a reference to a video I did on my channel very, very, very long time ago.
Oh, before I cared.
Wow.
Holy fuck.
Hey Oz, if you're listening to this for some reason, Kat doesn't care about you.
I mean, Kat cared about me, because if not, then she wouldn't be here. Because my content's the entire reason she's here.
True.
Pretty much.
So I'm the most important person here.
I mean, I love how he says this on a video that's on my channel, but hey. Modesty is not one of your strongest qualities.
Oh,
We're modest people?
I know, right?
When was someone going to tell me that?
I know. Madness. So, Herrick gets captured and tortured by the Seers. I should mention at this point that...
Oh, his name is Herrick?
Yeah, Heracles.
Kind of like heretic? Or heretic?
That too, but he's meant to be Heracles. Which is kind of why he's the one captured and tortured when Heracles is kind of invincible. It just occurred to me the way you said it. So it's like... It's kind of wild to me that the guy that is based on the character that is basically invincible is the one that's captured and tortured, but let's just go with it.
Also later, I think he trips and completely ruins one of their plans.
Yeah, I think he does.
You think they would have named him after Sisyphus then or something?
Don't get me started on Sisyphus. Don't get me started. That was trending again this weekend. And yes, it was that same stupid video. You don't understand because you're stupid. Sisyphus is happy he's got to work for the rest of eternity. No, he's not! It's an ordeal! He angered the gods and he's punished for it for the rest of the time. He's not happy. He's not meant to be happy. He doesn't deserve to be happy.
So, going to close that can of worms right there, right now. We're just going to move on. Please.
Sorry, but
Please.
Frezno's the video I'm talking about, and it's stupid.
Which one? Oh yeah, that one.
Stupid tit-top woman. Not understanding how Greek mythology works.
I mean, let's be fair. A lot of people don't seem to.
It's not like I've studied this university and got a degree in it or anything like that. That's not the reason why I'm mad. It couldn't be that at all, could it?
This is literally the kind of stuff you studied in school. And
yeah, so to watch somebody getting it so wrong hurts me physically.
It's like if you watched a video of someone fucking up a cake, like completely.
I have.
Put it
Then
this
you-
way.
then you can't-
I have.
I saw the video and took psychic damage. It was so bad.
Oh god.
Do you know how many 5-minute crafts I accidentally watched and I was screaming the entire time at the screen like, no! Don't fucking do that! You're gonna kill somebody! It was a lot.
Just electrify the wood, guys. It makes a cool pattern. It's totally safe.
And
If you make one wrong move, you're not going to electrocute yourself fatally instantly.
and this is why. Good God, stop!
Use this aluminum drink can in order to pop popcorn over a fire. No.
Mythbusters.
No.
Who are you gonna call
Mythbusters.
Mythbusters?
Stupid internet trends.
Where was I? Oh yes.
I'm in physical pain now. I hope you know.
To go with my psychic damage. You're welcome.
I'm feeling great, except for the part
This
where I have to
wasn't
talk about it.
psychic.
So Herrick gets tortured. This is where the seers take off their masks to reveal their.
Oh wait,
their
I'm sorry, Frezno. You having a good time? Symphogear is over.
Is it?
Yes.
That doesn't hurt me as much as you think it would.
Your fan fiction doesn't count.
Now that might hurt.
Who said I wrote fan fiction?
No, not your fanfiction.
I did just now.
I've never written fan fiction.
So the seers then take off their hoods to reveal their welding masks, and this is where we find out their names.
Hey, cat. What now?
That didn't load. Oh, never mind. New Symphogear project. Oh God, no! She's actually gone. She's left the call. Cat has left the building. Cat has re-entered the building.
I'm the winner.
God damn it! How did I come back right to that?
Because I did it just like you did with Rain and the Mariah.
Be right back, dying of laughter. Why does the cat leaving the call prematurely just get me every time? It just does.
Emotional damage.
Yes. I think we all suffer that at some point during this podcast. But Ank and Lark, and I should point out that Ank is noted for something hanging around my neck right now. I wear a gold Ank.
Neat.
Because ancient history, mythology, kind of into that sort of thing. My parents got it for my 18th birthday. I don't take it off and set to sleep. It's very precious to me. But we never find out which is which, because they always are shown in the masks or the hoods. So we never find out which is which. And it doesn't really matter, because they're here, I guess.
Who cares?
Yeah.
They're 3 weeks from retirement. They're wearing red shirts.
They
blah, blah,
literally
blah.
are 3 weeks from retirement. That's it. And then our cliffhanger is, hey, we've ripped off Star Wars, we've ripped off 2001, let's preemptively rip off Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Da, da, da.
And Star Wars, because it's about a crusher, isn't it? So
Oh boy.
Yeah.
we ripped off both of the LucasArts properties in one. Nice.
Lucasfilm.
Sorry, Lucasfilms.
When did Indiana Jones come out again?
1981.
Like I said, preemptively ripping off Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Okay.
By the way, the short round now
So
has an
apparently
Oscar.
one of the writers just had it in to Lucas stuff.
I should point out the guy that plays Short Round has an Oscar now.
Which, calling him the guy who played Short, he fucking killed it in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I haven't seen that film yet. I'm just pointing out that
Please go see that movie. Everyone listening to this podcast, please go see Everything
I
Everywhere All
will
at
watch
Once.
it when I can. I've still got to watch
I have it on
Knives
my
Out
list.
too.
Okay.
I still got to watch The Glass Onion. I'm hoping that I can arrange that this Easter.
Glass Onion.
Oh my gosh, yes, you need to watch
Glass Onion is an excellent film, but holy fuck, Everything Everywhere All at Once is like, okay, we just at the risk of making Kat close the call again, Everything Everywhere is the movie I wish I could send back in time to show myself while I was in the middle of the Symphogear obsession.
Fair enough.
Like, it scratches those some of those exact same itches.
I have a question about Everything Everywhere. Don't spoil anything in it.
Okay.
Did Jamie Lee Curtis deserve the Oscar?
Yeah, she did pretty good.
Okay, because I don't like the fact that people are going, she shouldn't have got it. Why shouldn't she have got it? I mean, that woman deserves the world.
They say that she shouldn't have got it because she was one of the few white people in a movie primarily casted with Asian people.
Oh, is that really it?
It's a race thing.
Is it also the nepotism thing? Like, she's seen as a nepo baby?
It's a race thing.
That is so stupid, by the way, but yeah.
Well, I mean...
No, I hate to tell you, it's a race thing.
Yeah, well, listen, Jamie Lee Curtis...
Ke Huy Quan won, so I'm not too torn up.
Jamie Lee Curtis supports trans rights and cosplayed as Vega at EVO once. She deserves the world. her son or her grandson was in the tournament, and so there's a bunch of cosplayers just standing to the one side cheering for him, and she kept the mask on the entire time.
I now have a weird relationship with Jamie Lee Curtis, if only because I saw her shaking her ass for Arnold Schwarzenegger, so...
Oh, True Lies.
That's actually a good film, though.
That was an awkward... I have my own problems with that movie.
That bit is very awkward, but...
It's very misogynist.
I can see that, but it's also one of Arnie's better performances. He goes for it.
It's still very misogynist.
In that film.
It's not Arnold's fault. It's the side characters and the story.
Bill Paxton.
Yeah, granted. But our cliffhanger is that they're about to get crushed.
And then episode 4, they do not get crushed.
They do not get crushed. They hang on by their fingertips to a ledge. It's... As cliffhangers go, it's probably the best one because it actually has some action happening. It's not, oh no, we're about to have our hull burned through by a laser that we ourselves turned on. Oh no, we're about to get gas.
The whole reason that they're in this cliffhanger is because the old dude tripped and fell and pushed the cart over.
Damn you, Sakurai! Oh, if you were on the internet during the days of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, my god, that was a time.
No, I understand. Don't worry.
That was a time. Why am I tripping? You idiot! You don't know how to do game design. And despite that, he intentionally mentioned why he put tripping in. It was to stop people wave dashing.
But I want to break the game.
It was literally to stop them exploiting the game. Now, thankfully, after that game, they found better ways of doing it. But
and thankfully, after that, all the people who complained basically just stuck with playing Melee for the next 20 years.
Thank God.
And that leaves us idiots to have big boy matches
and have the time of our lives.
I'm sorry, I just remembered the time I streamed Smash in the Anime Den, and I loaded up my Mii Fighter Hibiki, and everyone in the chat was like, "Oh, of course you've got a fucking Hibiki!"
I think my comment is literally
I would like to go ahead and extend a formal apology to those fanboys we were just talking about. It's okay to go play Melee, because that means that you're not fucking interfering with us, bitch!
Yeah, they're doing
I was about to
their
say
own
playing
little
Melee
thing.
is fine, but the people that went to a Smash 4 tournament and just chanted Melee the entire time, they're idiots.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's a bit.
Underworld.
Oh no! Someone likes something that I don't! How dare they!
Oh no!
I mean, you
them liking this thing that I don't like is causing the thing I like to is existing. Oh wait, no, it doesn't. It literally doesn't.
I mean, to be fair to some people, that does tend to happen with stuff like multiplayer online games, where they come up with a new one, and then they're like, we're going to close down the old one's servers.
I mean, you can't play Brawl online anymore. Actually, come to think of it, you can't play Smash 4 online anymore.
No.
As of today, I guess.
The servers
So
are
I
dead.
could kind of understand it, but also, like, shut up.
But the game still exists.
Yeah.
And with a few workarounds
I never
online
said
services.
that they made sense. I just said that I understand where they're kind of coming
Yeah,
from.
I do get that. But anyway, let's get to the end of Underworld, because
Please, God.
you can tell it's not very good because we keep talking about
We're
everything
almost
else
done.
other than Underworld.
But
They
we're almost done. We sped through it.
they get rescued by Captain Jackson / Jason. He agrees that he's gonna fight off the guards while they try and get to the computer, get to the Oracle. And yes, that is yet another Greek mythology reference, by the way, the Oracle.
Yeah.
It's I can think of at least two pieces of media that does this, where they have a computer named after Greek mythology. The other one is Red Dwarf, which has Cassandra. And
I
yes,
know in Batman, after Barbara Gordon has her accident, she becomes the Oracle and is like a sort of person of the year for Batman.
yeah, I know when you say she had her accident, you don't mean Over the Edge, but I just automatically thought about Over the Edge.
No, no, this is worse.
Well, hardly.
Yeah.
She,
I was trying to keep it as PG as possible, because what happens to Barbara Gordon to paralyze her is completely awful.
yeah.
I get.
And then what DC did later, where they decided to fucking heal her from it, is even more awful.
Let me guess. Lazarus Pit. It's always the damn Lazarus
No,
Pit.
I honestly don't know exactly what they did, but what really annoyed people was we finally had a main character in a series that was, she was in a wheelchair. She was paralyzed. She's disabled. And then, of course, well, we can't have that. We can't have disabled people in a comic book, so we had to get rid of her. And so they healed her.
Oh, is that really the motivation? That sucks. If that's genuinely the reason behind it, that's terrible. But yeah, basically, anytime someone...
Yeah, it was part of the New 52 thing, and a lot of people really hated the New 52 thing, because it did a lot of that shit where it basically just rebooted people.
More often than not, that is the solution that they use when they have to bring somebody back or get somebody to recover quickly in DC Comics.
The Lazarus Pit,
yeah. Black Canary's been shot, stick her in the Lazarus Pit. We need to bring the Joker back from the dead, take him out of the Lazarus Pit.
Oh, God.
Excuse you. The way that they brought the Joker back is they had a very, very long metal session. Where they told him to rise.
God damn it. I do realise I meant to say Ra's al Ghul and not the Joker, but that's still funny.
John, if you're listening
I really hope you know what I'm talking about.
Please tell us if all of this is actually accurate.
John listens to our podcast? Wow.
I said Sean.
Sean. I was going to say, John does not listen to our podcast.
If none of this is correct, then I do apologize. I'm a Marvel girl, not DC.
Sean, if this isn't correct, tell Frez Have the Straight Story is the best story of all time.
You got it wrong. Straight Story is the best Star Trek movie of all time.
Oh.
And he refuses to say this to me. I almost all of David Lynch's filmography, and I still don't understand it!
And there's his second damage.
I'm fine. Let's talk about Underworld.
There's his second damage. Yeah. So they go and...
Emotional damage!
They go and confront the emotional damage, I mean the Oracle. And basically, they try and blackmail the computer, or they bargain with the computer for the cylinders containing the race bank of the Minion civilization.
No, it's really funny, because instead of capturing the one dude, they take him hostage and are torturing him, trying to get all this stuff out of him. And the torturer is like, he's telling the truth, and the Seers are like, no, he fucking isn't. He's not telling the truth at all. And so the dude's like, we're just here for the cylinders. And they're like, okay, so what's more important, the Oracle or the cylinders? And they're like, well, the Oracle, of course. Why don't we just give him what he wants and make them go away?
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
So the Oracle gives the cylinders to Captain Jackson.
Except they don't.
Yeah. They pulled the old switcheroo.
Yeah.
And it's not until after the idiot captain has left the scene, the Doctor goes, wait a minute, you've given him face, haven't you?
And also, if we're going to talk about if there's a point to the whole, oh, we're cruel for no reason. The fact that the minions are just like, they're like, oh, we'll give you what you want. Just let us do whatever we want. We want to keep oppressing these people. We want to do it because we like it. So just go away and let us rule the Torgs under an iron fist.
Yeah.
And the minions are like, okay, we'll go. We got what we wanted. Fuck these people.
To be fair, they take fuck these people really, really hard.
But this is like an
The
anti-Doctor Who
bitching,
Not
the
in a
convention.
good
moaning
way.
that Jackson does at the end, near the end of the climax of the story.
We're
but-
too heavy. You gotta kick them off. Get off my ship.
You've
Ooh.
I will say that this is like the anti-convenience alert because the Doctor could easily just realize that the cylinders are fake before Jackson leaves the scene.
Well,
Writers
to be fair, the Doctor, Leela, and the kid are all trying to sneak into the Oracle's place, so they're far away from Jackson and the others.
I
They
did
have no
said
idea
that.
this has happened.
And the Doctor rectifies this by just committing larceny.
yoink.
He just steals the real cylinders.
But before they can get away,
This is
they're
mine now.
yeah. Before they can get away, the guys activate a cave in and block them, and they're like, "Okay, we'll dig it. We'll dig out, and we'll get the canisters back from their bodies." But who saves the day? Cat.
K9!
Yeah. Because as
Which
Captain
I'm
Jack's
kind of
about to take
disappointed.
off,
He wasn't in this as much as I would have wanted him to be.
he's barely in it, but he does save the day here because he's like, caution, the canisters are actually grenades. Like
Well,
what?
the doctor points that out.
Yeah.
No, Kanan is just like, oh, well, they're about to take off, and Kanan's like, we can't leave. The doctor and Leela aren't on board. And he's like, oh, well, go find him then. Oh. And Kanan's like, okay, beep, boop, 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 boop,
Yeah.
and goes off.
And then the Doctor
blows.
encounters the head guard again, who's named after a real Danish philosopher, by the way, Rask.
Uh-huh.
I don't even particularly care that much. That's how bad this serial is. It's making me not care about the minutiae.
Hey, kids! This guy is named after this Danish guy. Isn't that cool? And the kids are just like,
No.
what?
It's kind of like in Dragonfire,
Ew.
where they named all the guards after, like, film theorists. And it's like, okay, and?
I have yet to see the part where I am supposed to care.
Yeah.
You
In
were
fairness,
saying, right?
naming characters after other real people is a thing that happens since time immemorial in fiction. And sometimes you don't even realise it, as is probably the case here with 90% of the population. But the Doctor does a neat bit of sleight of hand for this guard, so he says, oh yeah, you can have the cylinders back, hands in the damn grenades. And he's too stupid to realise that, wait a minute, these are heavier, or these are lighter. These are not the cylinders that you're looking for.
I mean, they just knew that the Doctor had the cylinders last, so it's like, oh, the Doctor has returned the cylinders to us. Cool. That's all we need.
Yeah. And basically, the ship takes off with the crew and some of the surviving Trogs as well on board. And as it takes
Jackson
off,
claims
the Oracle's like,
I'm gonna make a simple request. I know we don't have that much left, but can we please just call them, the slaves?
yeah, sure.
Well,
Because all I'm
they're-
reminded about is the fact that there's a very similar word that was an offensive word for Starfire and Teen Titans, and all I can think is, wow, that's really racist sounding.
Oh my god.
I'm not gonna say the word out loud.
Oh no, we're talking about DC Comics again.
I'm not
Oh
gonna say the word
god.
out loud, but is this the word I think that?
Hi, Sean. I haven't met you yet, but hi.
And you were on the Paradise Towers podcast with Sean.
I've not met him yet. You have. Cat, is that
Hi,
the
Sean. I haven't met you yet.
Cat, is that the word?
No, bird is the word.
Is that the word they call Starfire that we thought was offensive?
It's something like that, yeah.
Because that just means an uncultured person or a caveman.
No, they had like a specific word. It was like, the entire episode was basically, hey, this guy's really racist to Starfire's, entire race.
Okay.
And there was one point where like Cyborg is calling her that, and she was like, "Don't you dare call me that! Do you have any idea how offensive that is?"
Was this
And
the
he's
original
like,
Teen Titans or
Whoa,
Teen Titans
okay. Or the original.
Go? I kind of surprised.
Teen Titans Go has such fantastic jokes, such as Cyborg punching a bowl of meat while staring at Raven's legs.
Ah, yes, that classic joke.
But okay, I'm gonna derail myself. But Teen Titans Go the movie has the best joke where Stan Lee shows up for a cameo, and then someone whispers in his ear, and he's like, "Wait, this is a DC movie? Oh, I've got to get out of here."
And that's quite funny.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Anyway,
You get one.
the
That's it.
the upshot is that the good guys get away. The planet explodes because of the fission grenades. The lower orders managed to get on board the ship before it blew up, so that was nice. The Doctor not to commit genocide twice.
God.
Casual genocide.
And then they say that they're going to they've got clear of the nebula, so the ship's now going to head for Minos 2. March 25th, the sequel. We'll call it Christmas 2! John Lithgow. What was I going to say? Yes. They're going to leave, basically. And that's when the Doctor mentions Jason and the Argonauts, specifically.
Do you get it, kids? It was an allegory all along.
He says it might be a premonition. Premonition of what exactly?
Is he suggesting that this is the origin of the Jason and the Argonauts myth, and it was somehow? I
guess.
I'm dropping this. I don't know. I don't know.
Hey,
No, see,
don't think
you
it
guys
is.
are missing it. It's a premonition that the audience won't understand a fucking thing, so he's got to explain it all.
On another occasion, that premonition was 100% accurate. I will say this now that we've got to the end of the actual 4 episodes. This is kind of more interesting behind the scenes than on camera, because there were rumours, well, weren't rumours, Leela was leaving the show. Louise Jameson's contract was up and was not going to be renewed. So naturally, that spread, well, who's going to replace her as the companion? And we now know, of course, it was Romana.
Mary Tan, yeah.
Mary Tan's Romana. But at the time, people didn't know that. And a rumour was started that Tala was going to be the next companion.
Huh.
That rumour was started by her agent. It was never on the cards. Her agent was just stirring the pot to try and get things to happen, and it never did. Even the actress didn't think she was going to get it, in fairness. It was just the agent.
I mean, you got to give them points for effort.
I mean, there was an attempt, certainly.
Can I just say, I hope that she went into a room with her agent, closed the door, I was like, what the hell, Richard?
Less good for this particular actress, who, I want to get this right. Imogen Bickford Smith. The makeup she wore to appear much older, the old age makeup.
Yeah.
She was ill because of it.
Please don't say she was allergic.
Oh no.
No, she wasn't allergic. No, severe allergic reaction to cotton wool and latex paint.
Oh no.
And they had to get a physician summoned to the set to treat her. She's all right, but
Of course.
Also, Louise Jameson did get throat pain from the gas, which was dry ice.
Oh god.
And in fairness, I've had that at a disco.
They use dry ice.
Yeah. I've had that at a
Couldn't have
disco
gotten
where
a
you
fog machine.
if you go to a disco and there's dry ice, your throat hurts like hell afterwards.
Yeah, they didn't have the budget to build a corridor, let alone get a fog machine.
Yeah, but I think dry ice is more expensive than a fog machine. Surely, somewhere in the entire BBC, they have a fog machine.
Anyway, I
They
think we
could
all
have
know
borrowed
what
it.
we're about to say here.
Yeah.
What does everyone think about Underworld? And who would like to go first?
Can I get it out of the way?
Please do.
Yeah.
This is shit. I don't like it. It's not, to be clear, offensive shit. It's not like, this offends my sensibilities and my code of ethics. It's just really mediocre, kind of dull Doctor Who. And the most interesting thing it's doing, which you picked up on, making it all this allusion and allegory to the myth of Jason and the Argonauts. Well, it's kind of funny that it came out right after Star Wars, because Star Wars also took myth and mythology and film influence and bundled it all together and created this unique little thing out of the imagination of George Lucas, right? What's Underworld doing? It's taking the myth of Jason and the Argonauts and
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. There's no remixing. There's no like real solid imagination beyond. Well, what if we added some guys who oppressed some other guys, and it went crazy. There's nothing here to latch on to, and as a result, I'm just watching nothing to latch on to and bad special effects, just bored out of my fucking skull. It's not good. I'm sorry. I don't like being the negative Nancy, but it's fun watch. It was not fun. No, I don't like it. Rain or Cat, what did you think?
Do you want to go for the next, Cat, or I mean, you picked it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I'll go ahead. I concur with what Frost said. It's not it's got its funny moments, which it probably shouldn't have, because serious episode, blah blah blah, and it's really not good, and it's obvious that they really ran out of budget, and it's really sad because it's like, I get it. Making a series like this is hard. It's very difficult. It's like, apparently they even talked about, canceling this entire serial and putting all the budget from it into a completely different serial. And for some reason they didn't do that. And I don't know why they didn't do that. Uh it's it's somewhat entertaining if you want to really laugh at the bad special effects, but this is definitely the definition of a popcorn episode. You pop some popcorn, you go in there to have a fun time, not to understand anything about the story. And the fact that it has what is kind of a major point to the Time Lords, in that the whole non-interference policy thing is a little weird, in my opinion, because it could have been in a much better episode.
And I concur. 3 for 3. This
But
is
go
not
ahead,
very good.
Brad.
Oh, wow. Even the one who actually understands the mythology.
It's not very good, and it's because of the mythology. It's not very good. It does nothing with it.
That's what I
This
said.
is just, let's include a bunch of Greek mythology references to include Greek mythology references, and does nothing with it. It doesn't say anything interesting about, comparisons with the modern day. It doesn't include some more interesting characters. It's just, here's a bunch of names that we're going to slightly tweak to make our characters. Okay, and where's the comparison? Where's Jason's Medea? Where's the monsters that they fight? We have dragons, which the dragon is just a security system. Okay, that's something I guess.
The monster was man all along.
That's something I guess. But this is laughable, and not in a good way. Like I said, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't think it was very good, but I was entertained. For all the wrong reasons, I was entertained, but I was entertained. Because of the laughably bad set and the CGI that they just did, the blue screen they just didn't need to do, and the costumes, some of the costumes, and the looking sideways at television monitors that remind me of wrestlers, and yeah, it's just not good. I wonder if you'll like my pick for next week then.
Hopefully it's a good one.
Well,
Please.
I'm just going to come out and say it. Let's continue the Greek mythology train a little bit more.
Choo choo.
I hope to God that this wasn't written by a bad author. Next time on Doctor Who Reviews, Matt Smith stars in the God Complex.
Well, it's a decent script by a middling author.
It's Whithouse, right?
It's a Whithouse.
Yeah, well, I've come around on Whithouse a bit.
This might be the last good Whithouse, or the first shit. Depends.
I was trying to think if this was him or Tom McRae, and I realised Tom McRae did the other one before it, which I could have picked.
The I think we can go. I think we can make it through this fine.
Okay, so we'll do that. We'll continue the tenuous Greek mythology link.
Oi! Yay!
Hey, audience, you want to know something? You dodged a bullet.
We're not gonna.
I'm not going to mention the name of the bullet, but you dodged a bullet because I picked something like, no, we can't do that, and then I realised, oh no, you know what? We can't do that. So.
Anyway.
This is the backup plan. This is the backup plan. Come up on the fly in the space of about 2 minutes, and I hope it's all acceptable for everybody. But
anyway, Brainiac, where can you find us, lovely people?
Well, before that, have you got anything to plug?
Oh, you want me to do this now?
I can do the
plug.
I'll tell you what. You can find us on Twitter at Reviews Doctor. Individually, we are Brainiac the Maniac, at Concave Usurper, at Freezing Inferno, and at the Kachiri. And then twitch.tv/Freezing Inferno /Radiac /Concave Usurper and / the Kachiri again, is it? Or was it Kachiri?
The Kachiri.
The Kachiri again. You can buy, please buy Back to the Living by Kristen Bittier, Volumes 1 and 2. And please buy The Tower for the Trees by Sean Dillon. And perhaps a third work that Frezno was going to plug right now.
Yes, I'd like to talk about this. So, releasing this week as of recording from the publishing house Aldrich Books is Shadow of the Gallifreyan, Book 1, which is a Doctor Who flash fiction anthology. Flash fiction being really short stories, like we're talking in the 1,000 word range, so just really quick little snippets of fiction. And this story anthology is all about the supporting characters of the Doctor Who universe and what happened after their encounters with the Doctor. So, for instance, we did Ambassadors of Death a while ago. One of the stories in this book is from the perspective of Regan, and it's a letter he wrote in prison after the story. So, stuff like that. And, there's like 170 stories in this book, and all the proceeds go to the UK charity Shelter, which is a charity that works for
the homeless
to fight for the homeless. Yes, so
good charity.
So all the proceeds going to a good cause, and you get like 170 of these short little stories, and all sorts of talented authors, over 60 authors, and some of them you probably have never heard of, like I have, but they have very good stories, and some I've heard of them. Some of them we have heard of and have indeed promoted, and have in fact been on the show. Authors like Krista McTeer, Sean Dillon, Jerry Wait, what?
Yeah. Your boy Frezno is a published author.
The book!
What's your story?
I have 2 stories in the book, actually.
Oh, look at you, being the goat.
Nice.
Yes, and in fact, they were inspired by this very podcast, because this whole thing goes back to like almost a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. I'd say a year and a half ago, when the pitches went out. And at the time, we had done some episodes, and so they were on my mind for doing the pitches. And the stories I pitched to do these little flash fiction sequels to were The Caves of Androzani and The Creature from the Pit. So you can find my stories, The Presidium versus Sirius Conglomerate and Revolution Day, in this book, and they are about characters from Caves of Androzani and Creature from the Pit after the events of the story.
That sounds
fantastic. So I pitched it, and I wrote them after so much time. I sent them to the editor. They came back with the editing changes and the feedback and whatnot. I did the little things, sent them back, and then months later, they're in the book.
We had a chat about this.
And now he is a published author, and he's going to leave us forever because he is too big for his britches now.
So that's now 3 published authors we had on this show.
Yeah.
I feel really left out.
I want to make it a 4th one day.
Well,
one day I will write the Sonic Magician.
Oh, thank you! You're going to help me get published.
One day I will write the Sonic Magician, and I will be happy with it, and I'll get it published.
Oh, you mean you?
Damn it!
So.
Oh, you mean you? Okay.
I'm very happy. This is like a dream come true. I'm in a book. When I get the funds, I'm going to buy a physical copy, and it's going to come to my house. I'm going to open up.
I am genuinely delighted for you. You deserve it so much.
Oh,
I am so glad that your writing is going to be seen by a larger audience because it deserves to be.
We're very proud of you, Frez.
Did Krista actually do the one based on survival? She was mooting in the Discord, or did she go with a different one in the end?
Without mentioning, Krista went with a different story.
Okay, she didn't do survival.
No.
I'm guessing someone else did survival.
Yeah, someone else did. There is a survival story in there, from what I recall.
Okay. Not to disrespect that person. We did talk about this in the Discord.
Oh yeah.
When the call first went out, and I did toy with the idea of doing it. Unfortunately, I was too busy. But I'm glad you went for it, and I'm delighted you got picked.
I am. I'm really glad. And well, I don't want. I didn't officially sign any NDA or anything, so, but I've deliberately kept it quiet until something's actually happened.
Okay, good. We're not having a repeat of Colin Baker right now.
Absolutely not. We did say we were not going to mention this, and I knew that he had been he had applied for it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know when the book was coming out.
I did too.
Yeah, sorry, we knew. We didn't know exactly when it was coming out, but we decided that we were not going to mention it until it was out, and now it's out.
Yeah, and now it's out, and you can buy it on Amazon.com. We're going to have all the links. I'm just going to get it for you here now, so you know to edit it.
Yeah, no problem.
There's the post about
that will be in the description from now on.
Yes, and now we have a third book to plug every fucking week because you're goddamn right I'm going to plug this book every week because not only are my friends in it, but I'm in it.
I've really got to get mine published now, haven't I? God damn it.
I will say, and I'm not breaking any NDA by saying this, but keep in mind that the title of this book is Shadow of the Gallifreyan, Book 1. That's all I'll say about that.
All right, I get the hint. I'll submit a pitch.
Well, I could be hinting at a number of things, right?
Yes, but I know what you're hinting at, and I'll submit a pitch.
Yeah, he could be hinting at me. Hello, I'm right here.
Well, we could both submit a pitch, but he's hinting at me for sure.
Well, first I have to learn how to actually write.
Yes.
The silence is deafening.
Or he could be hinting something else that I'm not allowed to mention right now.
We can't talk about that. But what we can say is good night to you all.
Yes, so thank you for listening to talk about Underworld. We hope you enjoyed it, despite the actual series being not the best.
The best part was when I got to talk about the book that I was in.
But we had a good time with plenty of diversions and tangents, and I had a good time just being back on the show. So thanks for that, you two.
Now come over and watch Symphogear on VHS.
Is that the time I got? No.
All right, I'll get on a plane.
And join us. Don't encourage him. And join us next time when we see Symphogear. No. When we look at Matt Smith in the Gold Complex. Until then, bye for now.
Don't threaten me with a Symphogear.
Just you wait. In like a week or something, there's going to be a picture of me and Frez like watching Symphogear on VHS.
Photoshopped, but yes. Kat, you refuse to even appear on any images at all. So.
Yes. I'm starting to get over that, though.
Yeah, and I missed it.
Also, may I remind you, you guys had your chance to see me, and then you didn't take it because you didn't watch the video that Chris linked. So, that's your own fault.
I know. Until next time, as I'm here regretting my life choices, bye for now.